Hi, and welcome into the Ranch Sit Down. Our guest today, Erick Willis.
This song is called Waiting. Waiting for you to come down from your mountain. If I need to climb it, I'll come up shouting, 'cause I can't keep waiting for your love. You got me shaking, I can't get enough. You don't have to hide it, I know that you're broken. Girl, don't try and fight it. Let the seeds start growing, 'cause I can't keep waiting for your love. You got me shaking, I can't get enough. Waiting for you to come down from your mountain. If I need to climb it, well, I come up shouting, 'cause I can't keep waiting. You're waiting for your love, and you got me shaking, I can't get enough. Waiting for you to come down from your mountain.
Very nice, very nice. Erick
Thank
Willis
you,
hanging
man.
out with us here in the Ranch studio. Been working on new music, man. That's exciting. Finally.
Dude, it feels like it's been. We were just talking about the whole blip since the whole COVID thing went down,
Yeah.
and it has just blown by, and I haven't realized it's been nearly 5 years since I put out music or put out a full length record.
That is crazy.
It's nuts, man. So that's another reason I'm super excited to get this music, because it's also songs we've been working on for that long, like from songs we wrote in 2017.
Yeah.
Started recording them in 2019, and so like some of these songs are 7, 8, 9 years old, and they're
that's wild.
just now seeing the light of day. Yeah. So.
Well, it kind of happened to a lot of folks who, like, they were just about to release albums and realized, if I'm going to release this album, I'm not going to be able to tour to support it.
Right.
And that was the hardest thing.
And that was kind of the case of what we did. So this album it's called Day and Night, and it's because this collection of songs has there's a stark contrast in like the first half and the second half of the album. It's just, almost night and day. So that's why we named
Good name
it that.
for an album.
But we started recording them in 2019, beginning of 2020, and COVID hit, and obviously we didn't know how long all that stuff was going to last, what was going to go down, but we had the first half, the day half of these songs kind of done, most of the way done, and we're able to piece those together. And we were like, well, until in the meantime, we'll just put these out online and see what happens. And man, to figure out how important touring, radio, how important all that stuff is to the release of the album, we were slapped in the face with when we just put those out, and just nothing happened. Because we didn't do any lead up, no single releases, no music videos, no anything like that. And so we were kind of like, man, what a bummer. We were super stoked about these songs and all that stuff, and we didn't get to do any of that stuff. So fast forward here 5 years later, when we finally pieced together the rest of that stuff, we did the night half, and we've got all that stuff done. And so I'm like, well, let's re-release this thing as it was intended in the original plan, as a full length album, 13 tracks.
So this will be your third.
It'll be the third full length.
Very cool.
We've done a couple other EPs and stuff like that, but that was kind of the whole concept and everything behind the album was this day and night thing. So I was like, it's only fitting to really like put it out that way, or or what was the point of doing it?
Right, yeah. Day and, well, we don't know.
Yeah, day and just another day.
And ...
Yeah.
So
exactly.
when COVID hit, we lost some bands, we lost some venues. Oh, yeah. Was there ever that point in your mind you're like, can I keep doing this?
Man, well,
As it drug on?
Yeah, it was weird because, choosing this profession, you're used to the inconsistencies, you're used to the ebb and flow and all that stuff, and you're used to the hard times, you're used to all that stuff, but it never, it was the first time it got to because usually when stuff got slow, I could play weddings, I could play churches, I could play all sorts of stuff that wasn't your conventional, but like when COVID hit and there was absolutely no live music being performed anywhere, then I was like, oh crap, like
what do I do?
yeah, that's a little different thing. And so it was the first time since I started doing music full time that I got a job. I was driving a 26-foot delivery truck for a tire company.
Were you really?
Delivering tires around Texas. Yeah, because I was like, oh, I'll make some money, until this music thing comes back. And then next thing you know, like it's been 7 months. I'm delivering tires, and I'm like...
And they're asking if you want to work full-time? You just want to join the company? Or?
It got crazy. It was... I joke around to some people. I said it was the most money I had in my bank account in a long time. Because they had a direct deposit check. And
I'm going to Taco Bell twice today, and I like to brag.
It was crazy, man. But, I was happy for the job. It was actually Jesse Rassinen. He's an artist, too, and... it's his dad that owns a tire company, and when all that stuff happened, Jesse hit me up. He said, "Hey, my dad's looking. He knows musicians are hurting right now. He's looking for a couple guys to just work until you get back on your feet." And so, I was super grateful for it. It kept me going and got us down the road. But it also made me like put everything into perspective, like how lucky I was to be able to do this music thing for this long. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And how crazy that was, though, to have it just kind of rug taken out from under your feet for a little bit, but we made it through.
I'm glad you did, man. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, man, it was scary, but
so this album, you did the Kickstarter route. Tell us about that. How does that work?
So yeah, we're just under 2 weeks left for the Kickstarter. What it is, it's a crowdfunding campaign where fans, friends, and are able to pre-order all sorts of different packages to help support the album. You can get anything from a sticker at $5 to a full band house concert in your backyard with some of these pledges.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's $6 for that?
Is that right? $7 plus tax.
$7, good Lord.
That one's a little up there. But there's everything in between. You can get the CD, you can pre-order that, you can pre-order vinyl, album-specific merch. There's a reward tier where you can get me doing a cover song of your choice. You get video and audio of
what? How cool.
Because you get all these people, over the years, how many people have been on your butt for years to try to get you to do the certain cover, song, and it's like, man, I can't really do it, know. Well, you can do it like specifically for you or for a gift or something like that.
Yeah.
And so people have been digging that option and all sorts of stuff on there. Basically just pre-supporting the album. Instead, if you're going to buy the stuff after it comes out anyway, you can do it now, and you can get it before, the general public, because everyone gets everything early on that platform.
What a cool way to connect with fans.
It really
is. That's like
a
really cool way to do that.
It really is, because, instead of going in debt to whatever, putting it on credit cards
Yeah.
or going in debt to a backer and owing a piece of your stuff. It's all supported by your fans, so where they're getting something out of it, you're getting something out of it. I think it's a great platform.
It's a project that's been going on for quite a while. So how has your life changed from when you started this album to now?
Whoa. Yeah. I think I look at the, because like I said, we started that before COVID. Not that I didn't have any fears or doubts or anything before then, but seeing everything and the way that affected the industry, I think it just kind of shook you and just made you more, a little more serious about it, a little more like, hey, you don't really have all the time in the world to just mess around and think, oh, next year I'll do it next year, I'll do it next year, because, the world could literally shut down and you could not do it next year.
Something you never expected.
That was just one of those things, man, for something like that to happen. It was just like, that's the one thing, you're counting for all this other variables, but never something like that. So I think, finishing this album is kind of going to be a cool, like, completion and gratifying thing, because it's been so long and drawn out. I kind of, going back and working on this second half of the songs, I was, at that point, because we were just kind of piecing it along. We'd buy a day in the studio, track a little bit, piecing it along, and, it gets to the point where you're like, man, and the songs are old, and you're like, you've written so much new stuff that you want to work on and stuff. And then when I was reworking on these songs, I kind of got reinvigorated, because I was like, I remembered some of these songs that I thought and still think are like really good songs. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I started this thing. And it made me really want to like finish it and get it out there to the people.
Kind of way to reminisce on where you were at that point.
It
when you
is,
wrote that song. Yeah.
And it's like, man, 7 years ago is a long time. And like, I tell people, like, song years are kind of like dog years.
Right.
Like, 7
That's a lot
years
of
ago.
math.
Yeah,
Hang
it's
on.
too much math, but it feels like a century ago, and it really wasn't. But it is a nice little look at that, that time, which was a different time before all that stuff happened. So.
Right. I love that you're doing this, the availability of this album on vinyl. You have that cool, soulful voice that I think is going to sound really cool on vinyl.
Yeah, and this one, too, it's going to be a cool double vinyl.
Oh, nice.
So the day is going to be on one record and the vinyl on the other one. So it's going to be a really – I've become not a vinyl snob or anything like that, but just a collector over the years. And I kind of the resurgence of it with all the new, people doing it and the limited edition colors and all. I just think that stuff's so cool, and just like such a cool thing to look back. I look at my mom's and grandpa's old records and the artwork. Being able to see it so much bigger and hold it in your hands and read everything. I don't know. It's a nostalgia thing for sure. But I'm super stoked that there's been a resurgence of it, because I
love that.
Yeah, I do too. And like people, now CDs are the dying thing. Vinyl died years ago, and now it's back, and CDs are dying. It's like trying to keep up is a little tough, but I was like, I'm cool with just going vinyl on everything.
Yeah, I have a room in my house where like I'll do my Microsoft Team or my Zoom meetings and all that. And like you're standing, you look at it, and the entire wall behind me is just covered in CDs.
Yeah,
people are like, "What are those? Shut up!"
Just stacks.
Yeah, they're all alphabetical. Very
OCD
really? About it. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So when I want to hear a Guy Clark album, I can go right over there to the G's and find it. Yeah,
that's cool.
And I organize by the first name, which is weird. I know.
I like that.
It's just easy for me.
Yeah, I like that too.
It is. You worked with Drew Hericall on this album, too, I understand.
I did.
Cool guy, man. His stuff is good, too.
Dude, his new stuff.
Whew.
Yeah. So Drew's always been a good friend, and he's always played keys with us when, he hasn't been out on the road. And he tracked, a bunch of stuff from my previous albums. But since then, he's moved out to Boyd and started his own studio out there, and just, I think, really fell into something he's not only loves, but is great at,
Oh, good.
And so when we started working on the second half of the album, a lot of it I had done down in Austin. And so going back and forth to Austin, it's not too bad, but when I could just run 30 minutes down the street and track some at Drew's house, it made it so much easier. And it really helped us like speed along the process of like finishing this album, because we could go out there, you could be there at noon and track all day and be home before 10.
Isn't that
So
nice?
it was super nice, and he's really like built a good room for sounds out there and like figured out his space, and he's getting some good stuff out of there.
Sounds
sure.
like you guys connected for sure in this.
Yeah, Drew's been great. He's always, like I said, if I could have him play in the band full time, I would. He adds so much to whatever he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
with his keys and his harmonies. And now I'm just now figuring out in these past couple years how fantastic of a songwriter he is too.
Yeah.
I've always thought of him as this keys and producing and that stuff like that. And he started showing me songs that he wrote, and I'm like, dude, I've been trying to do this my whole life, and this is like your first little rough draft.
Yeah, I just tried this. See what this is.
Yeah, it pisses me off.
He wins a Grammy. Yeah,
Drew's the best, man.
That's awesome. Well, you want to do one more song for us?
Yeah, for
do you
sure,
mind?
man. We'll do one off the second half, the night portion of the album, and it's probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's this song I started it out in Lubbock with my buddy Brandon Adams.
Yeah.
And I finished it in Nashville with Ross Cooper.
Nice.
And so
a couple of really good West Texas boys.
It's a West Texas-ish song. Even though we finished it in Nashville, it reminds me of Lubbock because that's where I met those dudes long ago. But yeah, this one's called Alabama. I'm sorry we never made it to Alabama. You know me. If I could go back, I'd pick my head up. You had a big plan, I was a big man. Watched you fade away. But I'm sorry we never made it to Alabama, babe. I'm betting you'll meet a man and he'll be better than me. No question, he'll take you everywhere you wanted to see. Then you'll forget me, that you were with me, and your new life starts today. But I'm betting you'll meet a man and he'll be better than me. You don't have to keep it on track for a man that's just along for the ride. And love is only worth it when you're getting it back. And it only works if both of us try. And I know you did, and I just wasted your time. I promise, give it some time, you'll see the good that we made. And if I'm honest, I think we'll be fine, 'cause we were built that way. We're just a hiccup, baggage to pick up, and it won't mean nothing in 10 years, but I promise, give it some time, you'll see the good that we made. You don't have to keep it on track for a man that's just alone And love is only worth it when you're getting it back. And it only works if both of us try. And I know you did. I know you did. And I just wasted your time. Well, I'm sorry we never made it to Alabama.
Ladies and gentlemen, Erick Willis is back. Holy cow, man. So glad you're doing music again like this and
Thank you,
releasing
man.
new stuff. I cannot wait to hear this new album.
Thank you.
Do you
man.
guys have a like a projected release date?
It'll be like late summer.
Okay, so not
But-
that long.
But
Yeah.
we'll have some singles coming out before then.
Okay.
Yeah, roll those out over the next couple months.
Kickstarter, how do folks contribute to that?
You can find the link on all of our socials right now.
Okay.
It's pinned to the top. We've got the link straight to our project. Or you can go to Kickstarter.com and type in Erick Willis Day and Night.
All right.
Yeah.
Simple enough. Going to get that sticker and that concert. It's
There
gonna
it
be
is.
Big time. $5 and $7. Watch out. I got that radio money now. I don't
There
like to
you
brag.
go.
Well, Erick, man, I appreciate you coming by. It's
Man,
always a
thank
pleasure,
you,
man. You
Shayne.
got such
Thank
a
you.
cool voice. I swear, I cannot wait to hear this new album, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.